Yo, you know what time it is, you know who it is, you know what we here to do, man. We real life street stars, O from BodyByO, BodyByO Tactical, Co from the Academy, Co from the Community Security. Stay muscle so you ain't gotta catch up. Yee!
Real life. If that shit ain't real life,
It ain't real life. Just ain't real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Real life street stars, man. Y'all see we got him back in the building. The one and only, and I'm gonna say the legendary BodyByO with BodyByO Tactical.
Sir.
What's crazy is you came in here, we monikered you the Black John Wick because of your history and your expertise with a firearm. We did another interview. The full chocolate pawpaw came out.
Right.
And ladies love Cool J and ladies love pawpaw.
They
But it's funny that we sit here in America and it's someone like yourself who has the expertise of like gun safety, gun control, and of course teaching people the proper way to handle themselves and handle a firearm. It seems like every day something's happening to where I'm sure you question why, what, how, when, where.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure people go, because I know we talk a lot on here. We're going to talk about a few things, but you go in depth on your own channel. Mm-hmm. What do you prefer? TikTok? What's your main?
I keep everything even.
Okay.
Honestly, TikTok, of course, is just a different kind of vibe on TikTok. Instagram is a little bit more streamlined, professional. You know what I'm saying? Instagram is streamlined, professional. TikTok, Facebook, I have a little fun, you know what I mean? Like that. So we'll actually tell a couple of jokes on there, talk about little topics that are not actually just gun talk. But I've started on my Instagram page, which is my, Instagram and YouTube, of course, making sure I do a full spectrum because there's a lot of mental and emotional stuff that goes into the responsibility of a gun owner.
There you go.
So I'm kind of merging them to all kind of be the same encompassing. TikTok I have fun on TikTok. Yeah. But YouTube, Instagram, Twitter is kind of.
So let me ask you this. What conversation in your recent memory got the most traction back and forth? People, what topic was it that had people really just up in arms or just really talking about?
Mm-hmm. The firearm safety for the babies, man.
Is that the one?
That's the biggest one. The biggest one that I've seen from on my side was how old should children be when you teach them firearm safety? That was the catalyst. That was the one that went.
Because I remember the conversation. For those who might be brand new to you, I hope that's the few people.
Right.
Remind us again. What age was it?
And that's the question. At what age should you teach your children firearm safety? The same age you teach them any other safety, like don't put your finger in a light socket, don't play with knives, don't come in the kitchen when mom's pulling something out of the oven and stick your arm inside the oven and just stuff like that. You know what I mean? So those are the things. But again, what we have to understand, if a parent does not know the information on the thing, they're not going to be able to present that information in a manner which they can learn it to a child. Think about all those times we was growing up, high school teacher give you a math problem and you ask your parent, and your parent's like, I have no idea what kind of math problem this is, baby. I can't help you, baby, son, daughter, or whatever. So parents are a lot more reluctant to try to teach their children something they don't know themselves. So that's the issue we're having in our community. A lot of us don't know the firearm stuff. Mm-hmm.
So what I would say is, just for the sake of argument, I would say I would disagree with you in regards to that age.
Sure.
As you may entice someone to be liking guns.
Gotcha.
So for the crowd that does want to disagree with you.
Sure. If you say, well, I don't want to teach my child firearm safety because of the nostalgia behind it, the excitement behind it, think about it like this. Your son wanted to cut the grass with dad until he had to cut the grass with dad. You wanted to drive until your mama made you get up out of the house, stop doing what you was doing, to go down the street to get some bread or whatever she needs you to go get. Now you don't want to do it anymore. So if we present a thing like the work that it is, you won't be so inclined to have fun with it. Children want to have fun with things that have not been fun for them. Okay, cool. You want to go out, you want to do Call of Duty? No problem. But you really can't do the Call of Duty stuff until you can stand here and shoot my target the way I want you to shoot it. Now you're standing here for 2 hours in the hot sun with Uncle O trying to shoot a target. You're sweaty. You're tired. You're getting frustrated. No. We're going to call a goddamn duty because after we finish this, now I got to make you pick up stuff. I got to make you run. I got to make you jump. I got to make you get on the ground. I got to make you crawl. I got to make you do all this other tactical stuff that you saw in this video game. And you saw on John Wick 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you want to do this for real? No problem. Come on out here with Uncle O. Now you sleep for 3 days because I done worked your ass out. That's what I'm saying. Take the nostalgia away from the thing as children and we'll be fine.
What about toy guns?
Toy guns. Now, I am not a fan of toy guns because safety rule number 1, treat all firearms as if they were loaded. It doesn't say real or fake. So when you teach a child to point a gun at somebody, the brain is going to register point a gun at somebody when they have an actual gun. You know what I'm saying? I know a kid one time picked up a gun and pointed at the parents like pow, 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 like, yo, like, because in that child's mind, guns are toys because you presented it as a toy, not a level of responsibility.
So do you believe we should get rid of them?
I'm not saying we should get rid of them. What I've done with children who have toys already, when they come to me, I teach them firearm safety with that toy. So now the dynamic of playtime has changed because now you have to be responsible in your playtime, which is the same thing on a gun range. We go to gun range, we go to have fun, right? So, and you have to be responsible with the safety rules on the gun range while having fun. Same thing.
So you've seen a video where a guy is on the phone walking to his living room. He has his gun out just on the couch.
Yep, and the baby grabbed it.
And I believe that child was what? What'd you say, 2 years old?
2 or 3.
Yeah, about 2 or 3.
Thanks.
And the baby shoots herself playing with the gun. Technically, in just that scenario right there,
Sure.
a lot of things went
Right. Yeah.
Tell us what should have happened in that scenario.
Okay.
Starting with where the gun should have been.
Let's not talk about what should have happened because when we say should have happened, we kind of cast judgment. Let's talk about what happened.
Okay, let's talk about what happened.
That child walked by 2, maybe 3 light sockets to grab that gun.
Yes.
Next question.
No. We go.
You see that?
So
that child walked past the kitchen where the knives are.
Yes.
Walked past the light sockets that didn't have covers on them and grabbed a gun. Why? This goes back to my first interview. Why? Everything that's dangerous in that house, from the bleach, from the knives, from the stove, from the food disposal, don't stick your hand in the food disposal, from the dryer, don't climb in the dryer. You name it. Everything in that house was taught to that child to not bother with. That's why she had no interest in anything other than that gun. So because the gun wasn't taught.
For fathers out there.
Curiosity, yes.
And you have a 2-year-old, what should they do to try to teach your kids that this is harmful? Should they show them videos? Should they act? Should they do reenactments? Like, Literally. So here's what happened in that moment. Yeah.
That baby fired a firearm in a closed-in environment. That baby's ears were probably ringing for 2 days.
Yeah.
That's trauma. Now, what if we taken that baby out to the range? No, she's not big enough to hold a gun for real. She's not big enough to train for real. But guess what she did? While mom and dad were taking a class, she did what a lot of children do that come with their parents to my class. They sit in the lawn chair with their headphones on, with their hearing protection on, and they're on their iPad. So they get a chance to feel the compression of the gun. They know it's jarring. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
And then after a while, we put a smaller firearm, 22, in their hand, and we give them the opportunity to see what it feels like. That's going to develop a respect for the firearm. It's a fine line between respect and fear, right?
There you go.
So now the child understands, this is a serious thing. The last time I pulled the trigger, I felt like this, it did like that. So maybe I need to just, chill out. Make sense?
Makes sense.
But the baby was exploring. She wasn't being a bad kid. She was exploring. When was the last time she touched a gun? Was it her first time touched a gun? Probably, because she had no clue what was going to happen when you press that trigger. She does now.
She does now.
But now it's a trauma there. So now it's going to be difficult for people like me to teach her proper firearm safety when she becomes of age to train because she was shot with a firearm as a child.
There's trauma.
That's the trauma.
Let me ask you and this is for anyone, if you see someone around you shot and, most people don't know what to do.
Big one. That was in the video as well.
Yeah. What should you technically, what should a person do outside of, of course, calling 911?
Stop the bleed.
Yeah,
That's the part.
Because most people don't know what to do when you say stop the bleeding,
so
they're lost.
Exactly. That's a part of firearm safety. You are going to use your first aid kit before you use your gun every time. So here we are. Had that individual went to a credible firearms instructor, right? They would have taught, yeah, great, this is firearm safety, blah, 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 blah. But now we need to talk about the opposite side. Here's how you run a first aid kit. Here's how you run a tourniquet. Here's how you run gauze, run gauze, wraps, ace bandages, you name it. Basic safety stuff that you're supposed to know if you're a firearms owner. Here's what it is. Yeah.
So you're just walking, right? You're a civilian, and you're pa, 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 pa. What's the civilian do right when they hear the shots?
Trained or untrained?
Let's go with trained first.
All right. Trained, you have literally a split second to identify where it's coming from. If you can't see where it's coming from, get behind cover. Get behind cover and scan the parts of you that are exposed from behind that cover. Okay. Yeah. If you hear something that is bouncing off the walls, you don't know what direction it's coming from, get behind something and verify that there's parts that you're exposed to. It's not where that, array of bullets are coming from. That's the hard part. Right. Because in that moment, that's the fight or flight moment, right? It's just adrenaline dump, okay? Parasympathetic nervous system, all adrenaline's in the bloodstream. And if you're not trained for that, you're going to respond adversely, okay? So in most cases, as per our last shooting, guy walks in, starts shooting bullets, nice and loud, people are gonna do what? Run. In the brain, how it works, anything that's moving, his eyes are gonna fix on. But that's low and still, there's a great chance that he might overlook it, right? Not guaranteed, but it is a theory. However, if you don't know the who, what, when, where, why, and how, get the cover. Get the cover.
What about untrained?
That's untrained.
Okay.
So you have options. Run, hide, and fight. That's what a lot of people say. So for the average civilian who is not there to engage in the conflict, you want to run, hide, and then fight if you have no other option. But
So we had Charleston White in here the other day. He said the best thing to do when the bullets are flying is to fall on the ground, drop.
Get low, yeah. So if cover, well, that's second best. If cover is not an option, yes, you want to get low. It does make you a smaller target. However, it does give the bad guy an opportunity to close in on your location as well. So that's something you want to think about.
You just said flight or fight, right?
Yeah.
Say when a person wants to flight, right, and he doesn't want to fight. His first instinct is to.
Most people's first instinct is a flight. Yeah.
How do you override that?
Okay, there is no overriding.
Okay.
Right? You got to ride it. That's why I tell my guys on the teams, we have to spend time in this arena to be trained to respond in this arena. True story, whether you like it or not. Everybody that goes down range and does stuff, every cop, everybody that does anything in this arena, there is an adrenaline dump. When a cop rolls up on a scene and they shooting, adrenaline dump. Don't get it twisted. The bad guy with the gun, he too has an adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Everybody in the arena has adrenaline dump. Now, who's trained for that moment is going to be the individual who can actually do something about it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the difficulty of it. The adrenaline dump, it's something you have to train for, and it doesn't happen often unless you forcefully put yourself in an environment, training, controlled environment for the adrenaline dump. Yeah.
So let's go and speak on the big situation that happened, which is, of course, the main shooter. Maine is a very, let's just say, old school part of society.
Right.
A shooter goes, let's just say he goes, I don't want to say what he went, but he went.
Right.
And shot up 3 places and, of course, ultimately took his own life. I want to start this conversation in general with what we just spoke on as far as what to do when you're in a populated location enclosed, let's say an office, and you do hear shooting. Technically, people kind of play with fire drills and exits. They don't really take them seriously until it's actually time. Mm-hmm. Do you, and let's say you're on second floor of a building or just in the back of a building and you hear shooting, do you go to exits or do you stay in place?
That's a difficult question for me. I spend so much time locked in work mode. You see what I'm saying? I don't have the run, hide, fight. You see what I'm saying?
There you go.
I have the respond, fight, respond, if that makes sense. Okay.
That makes sense.
So if I'm on the second floor of a building or whatever floor of a building, okay, and I hear gunfire, my brain is going to say, all right, we back at work. Let's do what we do. You see what I'm saying? So make sure everybody's safe, make sure everybody's cleared out, et cetera, et cetera. Respond to the threat if applicable. When in most cases, my first inclination would be, if I don't see the threat, is to get people to safety. Hey, get out, get down, get low, you name it. But if I see the threat, of course, I'm gonna do what I can. That's, applicable to me in the situation to do my best to neutralize it.
So these people, of course, I think 18 are dead, over 50 wounded, and he was gone. The whole city, I believe, did a lockdown in place. Mm-hmm. He was military. Mm-hmm. I believe he had a background of being in the psych ward and things of that nature. Let me ask you this, and this is the same question that we presented earlier before. What does America do about the angry white man who, of course, does want to take his vengeance out on everybody? I seen the movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Mm-hmm. And some days, some guys are just having a bad day. Mm-hmm. And they're out to get anyone, everyone, whoever. Do you feel there's things that you could say to someone psychologically to make them bypass you?
Yes and no. What that is and who it'll apply to, that's the gamble. Yeah. Okay? You said, what do we do about the angry white man in America?
Yeah.
We got to be careful with that. Because the way the world works, we can't just do something about a sector of the populace. Got to do it for all of them. Because at the end of the day, angry white man, what made him angry? Angry black man, what made him angry? Yeah. Angry Chinese man, what made him angry? Angry Hispanic man, what made him angry? Angry Muslim man, what made him angry? You see it? So what do we do about people who are having bad days in America? We understand that they had a bad day and we move on. However, doing what most countries like Australia has done, taking the option from the people to defend themselves from whoever might be having a bad day, is a big no-no in my book.
So with that being said, for this man, mental health was possibly an issue.
It was an issue.
Do you feel like that is something that should be looked into on a yearly basis with every person that is trained and is able to use a firearm?
No, you don't have the resources for that, because it's just going to cost too much money for the government to do that. That's just another inflation on something, a bigger tax. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think we've accomplished what we need to accomplish in the science of the human psyche just yet to say something like that.
Okay.
Because truth be told, everybody on this planet got a mental and emotional problem.
Oh yeah. We all one breakup away from
we are literally one breakup, one text message breakup away from doing something crazy, right? So I get it. Everybody wants to stop a problem on the macro level, but we need to do a better study on the micro level on how to make things work better with the firearms. Because at the end of the day, just like other countries, if it wasn't a firearm, it's a knife.
Oh, that's nasty. Oh, knife.
If it's not a knife, it's a vehicle. You see what I'm saying? So if it's not a vehicle, it's a bomb that somebody made out of a pipe or out of a pressure cooker or something like that. You see what I'm saying?
So let me ask you, when you see a situation where there's a shooting, a killing, mm-hmm. do you hear someone actually took their own life?
Yeah.
Do you want to see them captured and for so why? Like for mental study, for they, to pay for it, or taking themselves out is the best possible solution?
That is, a lot of people say, oh, coward this, coward that. Yeah, true enough. However, our judicial system hasn't done us justice, okay? Because Okay, he spent 2 weeks in a mental health facility. Okay. He shoots up all these people. Is he actually going to go to jail like we think, or he's going to a mental institution to be eventually let out after evaluations and testing and so on and so forth?
That's correct. So do you want, for you personally,
Okay.
when you see someone in a standoff,
Okay.
you know, they went on 50 kills,
Okay.
would you want to see them, hey, police are in standoff and you're waiting to hear what happens? Do you want to hear them, hey, we got him alive, well? Or do you want to see, hey, we went in there and we had to, you know, like Osama bin Laden, they ended up taking his life. Would you rather have seen him come out and, hey, go through the judicial system and do all this for Osama?
That's a different scenario, but I'll go ahead and answer it.
He killed the most. I mean,
if it's a lone shooter and he's shooting and all of that, I really hope the cops get in there and handle their business. If he's actually shooting when the cops roll up, okay, do what you got to do. Neutralize this threat. Bin Laden, we got to be careful when we compare things like Bin Laden to the active shooter, because people want to bring Bin Laden to justice, but you really can't bring Bin Laden to justice because Bin Laden was riding on an idea. That's why we have the terrorists that we have today. You killing Bin Laden didn't stop any other terrorist attack post Bin Laden, because it's not about Bin Laden. Bin Laden was sitting on the compound while his people was acting fool. Bin Laden didn't fly them planes.
He's like Kobe Bryant, but that didn't stop the NBA, right?
Facts. That was beautifully spoken. Kobe Bryant gone. What is the NBA doing? Okay.
So Charles Manson didn't kill anybody himself, but he sent people to kill.
It's an idea. You can't kill an idea.
So, but Charles Manson had to suffer for that idea. Do you feel like Charles
Did the
Manson,
idea stop?
is he not guilty?
Did the idea stop? He's guilty.
Yeah, no,
100%.
so he's guilty.
Yeah, guilty.
So he does need to be put away.
Yeah, but there is no we can't properly serve justice on an idea. You can't. Like, you can't, like, look at what's going on right now in Israel. That's an idea. Oh, well, we're going to wipe Hamas off the face of the planet. Stop it.
Yeah.
You can wipe
You'll be doing that
group.
forever.
If they walking around with Hamas t-shirts on,
Right.
cool.
Baby Hamas was born yesterday.
And even then, if they walk around with Hamas t-shirts on, you can't kill the idea. If you got a group of people that believe this over that, there is no stopping that belief system. You just mad now. And your feelings are hurt, but at the end of the day, yeah, we can take one man and kill him. We can take one man and put him in jail, but is the idea going to die or rest with that? And the answer is absolutely not.
So back to the mass shooter.
Yes.
Do you believe that they just caught him? Because I know if I caught him, I probably would do something to him. Like,
because you're human. That's a human emotion.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So
It's a human emotion. Yeah.
do you think that's if they just caught him and it was just what it was? They just caught him.
No. They found his body next to a dumpster.
Okay.
That's the story.
So that's what I mean. Like, that's the story, right?
It's a story.
But do you think that's the true story?
I don't know. And the reason I say that loosely.
Yeah.
The reason I say that loosely, because what you have to pay attention to, the fact that we as a nation, when something like this happens, his name goes in the history books. When his name goes in the history books, his idea also goes in the history books. His idea is posted all online. Who did that motivate? Because at the end of the day, if you take a person who has been bullied their whole life, they have this disposition, they have no name, they have no glory to their existence per se, and they go out and do something, their name is going to be remembered forever. So they're going to live forever. Bin Laden is going to live forever.
Sure.
Because
It's like Tupac over here.
because you killed him.
Yeah.
Now, had you let him rot in jail, okay, we'll forget about him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We may not forget all the way about him, but no. But you have to understand, when you say Bin Laden, his purpose was to die for his belief system. That's why you let him win. So think about it. If in their mind, if you kill me or I die, however you decide to attack me back, if I'm going to get 72 virgins when I go to heaven, nigga, I won. In his eyes, he won. So what did you defeat? What did you do?
You martyred him.
You martyred him. Thank you for that. That's exactly what you did. Now, if you want to stop mass shooting, oh, it was mass shooting in Maine. The asshole that did it, we're not going to give him credibility saying his name. Just know he did.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Like, ain't no glory for mass shootings no more?
You remember, I think it was 2016 when the cop shooting, the mass shooting for the cops downtown, right?
Yeah. Micah X.
Yeah, okay. And he was killed by a robot.
Right.
Right.
Martyr.
Yeah. So no. My question is, does that really exist? Robots?
Yes, it exists.
Yeah, that just go in there and then...
So, two things happened with that. At the time, there was a government protocol. They were looking for what they call black identity extremists.
Yeah.
Okay. What the government decided to do by way of Dallas Police Department, okay, we need to make a statement so that it strikes fear in the hearts of anybody else who might want to do this. Could they brought the SWAT team in there in the parking garage and handle it? Of course they could have. However, dang, think about what you just did. Like, they blew him up. Wow. So now everybody, idea, you have to kill the idea. The idea was, hey, rise up against racist cops and white folks and do to the cops what they've been doing to us. That was the idea.
I be thinking he's in what is called Guantanamo Bay. I be thinking that they got him and he's still alive.
He could be, I don't know, but that was the idea. That was the idea.
Yeah.
How did they thwart that idea? Everybody that thought about doing that after him was faced with, damn, they blew him up with a robot. Think about that.
Yeah.
They didn't corner him like they do most people. They blew him up with a robot.
It's overkill.
Now let's roll this back. Conspiracy theorists, you can call me what you want.
Yeah.
They understood that black folks is scared. Black folks ain't ride or die like these Muslims.
So
let's run that back. Black folks ain't ride or die like these Muslims. I'm gonna say this again. All right. When's the last time you seen any black person that quote unquote love Jesus strap a bomb to their chest, walk into a building talking about Jesus is the best? Click, boom.
that ain't happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why it's easy to kill the black identity extremist idea than it is a Hamas idea.
So I got to ask you, what are your thoughts when I hear stories about them wanting to stop terrorism by using pork strapped bullets and, putting that pork in them? This is a real thing.
It ain't gonna work because it's an idea. So here's how it works. If their objective is to die for Allah, it don't matter how you kill them at that point. If they're raised from birth to die for Allah, they committed. What do you say to a man with a bomb strapped to his chest? Finger on the button.
Bye.
Thank you.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Build a lot of jail cells.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we have to start being honest about what's actually going on. Look, man, they know what they're doing. This ain't no secret. The government know how to handle this.
So, let me ask you then. You mentioned the robots and things like that. Can you see a society in which they send like Johnny Five type robots in on people versus humans going in to negotiate and end people's lives, like blow up the robot? Can you see it going that way versus putting human lives at risk?
No, because you're taking out the human element of choice, and angry white men ain't gonna go for that. Thankfully.
I see. So there was a recent video to where a SWAT team did come in on a house.
Yeah.
They sent the drone and a dog first, and I'm like, they got shit, man. Like, some guy just want to talk to somebody, but the drone and the dog was ready to shoot and kill. based on, you know, what the drone and dog does.
The drone is programmed to do a thing based on the controller,
Yeah.
and the dog is trained to do a thing.
And mind you, they could talk to the guy from outside and go from there, but they're just not going to send no humans in like they normally would.
Why would they?
Could you see them in, like, let's say 10 years from now, like humans not being put in those scenarios to where having to go into a danger? If you could send a dog with a battering ram on it, won't you just send a dog all the time?
You do not want to take the human element of decision making out of a thing.
Put a camera on it. I mean,
This is why AI is a problem.
yeah.
This is why iRobot was a problem.
Go watch iRobot.
When you take the human element of decision making out of the equation, it gets extremely dangerous, extremely fast.
Okay, I like that. I want to bring it back locally real quick to Texas State Fair.
Yeah.
I
got that phone call. When it
Yeah,
was
3
happening.
people shot. Somebody up the tool at the food court, which if y'all been there, it goes down at the food court. You know, goddamn, don't skip nobody.
Facts.
When you see something like that, and I seen the video footage of the aftermath, people running, people still on rides, like watching, oh shit, well, you know, what do we do? What advice do you give someone who is at the state fair with their family? Let's say, you know, because I've seen people leave their children to run, which is crazy, but I've seen it. What does someone do? Wife, boyfriend, 2 kids, walking, shots go off nearby. What do they do? Because now you're as a father, let's say as a protector, you have multiple lives in your hand right now, and you have choices to make.
1, do you have the adequate means to defend your family? That's number 1. Now, what I'm about to say might charge a lot of people mentally and emotionally. Why are you okay frequenting an environment of which you do not have control over your safety?
That's what my girl told me. Why do
reality-
you want to go to state fair?
So here's, and I appreciate her for asking that. The reality of it is you have a sector of society. Why shouldn't I be able to go to the state fair? It should be a safe place. Why can't we go to the state fair now?
Yeah, guns aren't allowed.
Well, at the end of the day, the security, well, I'm gonna say this, you get what you pay for. Security.
You get what you $8 the $8.95
$8 to $15 an hour. Of course, I had an individual who was there during the shooting, literally called me freaking out because that individual was startled by the fact that the metal detector went off while they were walking through, and the guard just like, don't worry about it, go ahead.
Oh man, that's a worry.
So what do? Do you stay home and not enjoy life and the amenities of the city like the state fair or the mall because people might come and shoot it up? Or do you go and be adequately prepared to take care of you and your family? Don't forget the sector of society. Well, we shouldn't even have to have guns. We shouldn't have to do all that. We shouldn't have to do that. Well, you live on planet Earth where there's a lot of evil people and you do. So you have an option. You can go and be butt naked when you get there, or you can stay home, or you can be trained when you get there. Either way, you have options. Now we're going back to the human element of making choices. I've been living in Dallas since 2015. I went to the state fair, passing through the state fair one time when my son was in the band at Lancaster and they had the march. So I was in the state fair for probably about 40 seconds to 2 minutes, and then on the way out. I mean, bro, I appreciate the funnel cakes, but they're not that good. They're not that good.
Okay, so
Now the Florida State Fair, I'm going to that shit. Like I got to do it. I got to do it. Florida.
No, we ain't doing that. No, we ain't gonna compare state fairs.
Hey, look.
We got Floyd's catfish at our state fair.
Hey, nah.
We got a turkey leg like a motherfucker. Wait a minute now. We frying everything. We frying air.
Louisiana State Fair. I do that. I'm just saying. I got to be motivated.
So
Yes, sir.
Texas has open carry.
Say again.
Texas has open carry, right?
Cool.
When you have your gun, right? Trying to see how I want to ask this the right way. Well, let me ask you this. Okay, you got a son, right? He comes to you and he says, "Hey, man, I just got into it with some niggas at the fair." What's your next? What do you tell him next?
Okay, so you said an individual comes up to me,
No, your son does.
my son.
Yes, and he tells you he just got into it with somebody at the fair and they got guns. What's your next step as a father? What do you tell him?
Ask that question again. Ask it again.
Man, he comes back home and he says, man, I got into it with some niggas, they got guns, and they after me.
Where the fuck is your gun?
Oh, you want him to go to war?
Like what? So you coming back after the fact because this is going to be the conversation. If my son actually asked me that. So you were in a space that you knew was dangerous and you didn't have adequate protection that you're already trained for and licensed to carry? And you just out there naked without your gun? And they did something to you. Okay, let me make sure you're all right. Now let me get in your ass because you know this is your fault, right? You chose to be a victim today. That's the harsh reality.
So when is it okay to shoot somebody?
When you're defending yourself.
So we always had this argument, let's say within real life, you know.
Right, yeah.
Some of us are gun-toed motherfuckers.
Wait a minute, you mean all you niggas don't agree?
Yeah. And here's the argument. Some of us are gun-toed motherfuckers and some of us choose not to carry guns. And let's say the argument that we have is this, protect yourself at all times. Be trained, be ready to shoot, go to gun range, be ready to protect you for your life. On the other side, hey, having a gun, carrying a gun will only probably bring upon more harm or damage to your life or whatever if someone tried to take something, versus you fighting for with a gun versus letting them have it. Because you have it on you, you might end up using it more often than not. So therefore, there's an argument of having it and using it versus having it to defend yourself. And that was the argument of why some of us carry guns, why some of us don't.
I think it's a Chinese proverb. I would rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're still talking about the human element of choice and decision making.
Yeah.
If you get caught with your pants down, you got caught slipping, you chose to leave the house without protection. You chose to not take advantage of the resources and information available to be trained and adequately learned on this particular area of self-defense. That was a choice. You chose this thing. Oh, well, I'm a felon. I can't carry a gun. You chose to do the thing to make you a felon.
Yeah, but it's after the fact. Everybody has a past.
The human element of choice. We will not hold you in expense and debt for your past. However, we will hold you accountable for the choices that you made.
Very true.
You can pay your debt to society, but you still got to,
So the young man you just met that walked out of here with the dreads, we just did a story on him right before you walked in. Okay. He got shot 15 times, survived. Young man.
Lucky the shooter was a sucky shooter. Yes.
Right. He had three shooters, but they were all bad.
Lucky
and that's what he said.
I'm glad they sucked.
And mind you, he had a gun in his house. He had just went outside with his gun on him. He walked back in because he heard something outside. It didn't sound right. He walked back in, put his gun up, walked back outside to go somewhere without his gun. And what he said, and this is his words, he's like, I'm glad I didn't have my gun on me. Because if I would have been, because he saw the drop, he saw the drop happen. Windows come down, drive by. If he had his gun and started shooting back and kill somebody, it would have probably ended his life in another way. Now, mind you, he survived, but he said I would have been rotting in jail for killing someone.
No, he wouldn't.
40 years.
Self-defense.
No, it's the law. The judicial system is weird.
Well,
let's just say because he was hustling. So we're dealing with criminals on criminals.
Now, the law does say if you are involved in criminal activity,
yes.
Now we're going back to the human element of choice.
Yeah.
You chose to do the thing.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. If you are going to break all these laws,
all the laws,
before you pull the trigger, at least have the option to be judged by 12 versus carried by 6.
At least have the option.
Now, he may have I don't know the story, but he may have gotten away with the illegal part of that situation. Hopefully they cleaned up everything before.
Because he got shot, they let him off. He was on papers, they let him off. They're like, shit, you need to carry a gun now because someone's your life is in danger.
No, at the end of the day, he would have had to pay a little bit more for an attorney. Now, again, the situation happened. Somebody roll up on him doing a drive-by. If he didn't have any illegal substances or anything on him, when the cops get there, what's illegal? Yo, hey, I got a past. I used to do bad things. I don't do bad things anymore. I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost now. I'm delivered.
Delivered.
And they roll up on me. They let the windows down. I saw guns. I pulled my gun. I saved my own life. I shot those however many. And yeah, I need therapy. What are we doing? But if you don't know the law beforehand,
Most of these kids don't. Let's just say that.
there you go.
So what do you do in this situation? They see you out, say, hey, BodyByO, man, I see you on Street Stars. You ain't that bad. Man, I'll whoop your ass right now.
I've had that happen, actually. Yeah.
So what happens next?
Well, so again, I consider myself to be decently skilled at de-escalation.
Okay.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Just de-escalate. Man, I see that shit on Real Street, though. You black John Wick nigga, you ain't know that. I said, bro, it was clickbait. Like, John Wick is not even a real person. It's the internet. Nothing on the internet is real. He was like, for real? Like, bro, just come on, man. And I was like, where's your gun? He was like, oh, no, I ain't got it on me. I said, bro, why do you not have your gun on you? Wait a minute. You got your gun on you everywhere you go? Yeah.
I'm the black John Wick.
I'm the black. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said, yeah, I'm the black John Wick. And he gave me this look. He was like, I was like, come on, man. Like, everything don't have to be. And that's the same thing. You know what? And I love talking to black men. Everything don't have to be a conflict, even if the brother having a bad day. Like, at the end of the day, when he said, I was like, okay, something I said probably offended him, and I have no idea who this guy is. But I'm not your enemy, bro. I was like, bro.
But I could be.
The new last boss. John Wick chapter 5.
I'm just trying to get gas at the QT. That's all I'm doing. That's it. But like I said, I mean, it happens. But like I said,
black men are they like to test other black men's manhood and sensibility. And we just, I don't know why we do that. We just love we love to test each other.
They do. It's fun.
Another situation. Mm-hmm. You're walking down the street with your woman, right? Guy comes up, smacks her on the ass.
Bad day.
I have to stay fair.
You doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
That's a federal. That's a felony. I witnessed a felony.
So then, what do you do after?
I have every right to do whatever I want to do.
Wait. So you witnessed sexual assault.
I witnessed sexual assault. What's a felony?
And therefore, you could react.
Yep.
However, and the judicial
but I can't stand there and argue back and forth. Yeah. But if he grabs a handful of ass, now he sleep.
Yeah, there you go. Wait, you talking about eternal sleep or what?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Shit. Okay.
Night.
Good night.
Night. At the end and that's something I think that needs to be stated. So here's how this works. If I'm with someone, if I'm in a place and it's someone I don't know, and I witness a sexual assault going on, and I ask her if she needs assistance, if she would like assistance, then I step in, and that's defense of a third party. Yeah. However, if I'm with my wife, it's understood that you need help if someone sexually assaults you, especially in my presence. That is a felony, bro. If you witness a sexual assault, kidnapping, aggravated sexual assault, yeah, you can handle business. That's the Texas law. That's 9.31A.
Wait, and let me ask you about Texas law. If I witness a fight, someone getting their ass beat, and I have a license to carry, can I protect a man losing that fight?
A fist fight?
A fist fight.
Nope.
So if I see a knife get pulled out, now we're into knife gets pulled, screwdriver gets pulled.
That's a sticky situation. As a matter of fact, you got a situation that just happened in New York. Unfortunately, this brother's going to jail for a very long time.
Yeah.
Because the guy pulled his scissors out, right?
Yes, scissors.
Now, we don't hear the audio, but we saw him pull the scissors out. We saw old girl pull him away. He turns around and walks away, turns his back to the guy, and the guy shot him.
Yes. Sticky.
Game over. It's a wrap.
Sticky. So you feel like, and just outside of laws, morally, is that man who shot him justified morally for you?
No. So here's the deal. Again, we don't have the audio.
Okay, yeah.
Now,
you're
if
right.
the guy with the scissors said, I'm finna go in my house and I'm gonna get my gun and I'm gonna send you to hell,
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh yeah.
If that's what he said, still iffy, because did that individual have the means to leave?
True.
Don't forget, they say it was noise ordinance or something was too loud or whatever. Apparently, he came to them with the alt, apparently.
Yes.
I don't know the ins and outs, but I do.
think they had history of noise from there. If his response would have been, let's say we don't have audio, as he's walking away, bro, I'm about to spin around and throw this scissors in your eyes. Is that enough to say, nah? You know, let's just say that's what he said. Like, if you still there when I turn around, these scissors going in your eyes.
If you're still there when I turn around, these scissors going in your eyes. I have an option to leave. Now we talking about pride, ego versus the law.
Yeah.
Me. Again, I'm a big fan of de-escalation. I think a lot of things ride on the idea of people wanting to get in a gunfight, having that itch.
Yes.
For
the gun range sometimes give you that itch. I'm just letting you know.
If you are not under proper instruction and you don't have people to teach you pre, during, and post gunfight, yeah, it can be.
Remind me on that video, because I didn't see the whole video. His son, like he was in the door.
And he like ran by. He shot the son a couple times, shot him a
So
third
the son
time.
ran towards
Killed him too. Yeah.
the scenario. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Again,
so I think the son, it looked, I didn't hear the audio. It looks like, because he shot the dad first and the son was coming back this way, I'm assuming to get out of the way of gunfire, and he turned around and shot him real quick and then walked over to the dad again and shot him again while he was laying down. And then I think he shot the son again too. I don't know.
if his life was in danger, what they consider the double tap, making sure someone is.
I'm gonna be fair, and again,
Yeah, let's be fair on both sides.
My response to this is based on my level of training. If it were me, if a guy had the scissors walking up, I'll be like, "Hey man, I just came to ask you to cut your music down, bro." And if it's a history thing, okay, good. You ask dude to cut the music down. If it's apartment, call the front desk, bro. Call the police. Like, what are you doing? Like, really? Because you put yourself in a bad light, knocking on somebody's door with an issue anyway. That is not your job to knock on anybody's door to tell them to cut the music down. You don't have the authority to make anybody cut the music down. The police do, however. You know, it's layered. We still dealing with the ego, man. It's a lot of ego and pride going on. We dealing with a lot of that. And I get it. You trying to sleep, you mad. Every whatever day, they doing whatever upstairs, and you upset. I get it.
Another scenario. I have to ask you hood scenarios so people know what to do.
Let's do it.
Your daughter comes in, her drug dealing boyfriend has smacked her around. She comes to you, Daddy, he beat the shit out of me.
Facts.
She's all fucked up. And she's looking for John Wick.
Pride and ego. So here's what dad has to do. Dad can do a number of things. He can put his pride on like a blazer and go find young sir and do whatever it is he needs to do. Is that going to help your daughter's future? No, it's going to soothe your pride, and it's probably going to embarrass the hell out of her because that's going to be blasted everywhere. Okay? Or we can have a talk with daughter and ask her, is this the life you want to live? Period, point blank. I thought I was doing a great job raising you what kind of men to choose. But you chose a drug dealing, domestic violent individual.
I turn the motherfucker.
Is this the life you want to live? So you want me to put your mom at risk and your siblings at risk to go out there and kill this guy when I know for a fact I told you that you don't need to be dating a dope dealer no way.
Right.
But you chose this. Ooh.
Now his boy's looking for you.
Ooh. Pride and ego.
But then he calls you. You can get it too, old man.
He didn't treat you like goddamn Liam Neeson.
I can get it too.
He's saying you old now.
Old man. Okay. I sure can. Young sir. It behooves you. Okay. On the strength of having respect for your mom and the things that she loves to do on Saturdays. Okay. Please do not slap me. I do not want to be slapped. I don't like being slapped. Please don't.
You're saying she likes to go shopping on Saturdays, but you don't want to see her at no funeral home.
She can go shopping on the prior Thursday for the dress that she wants, right? And then Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, front row. Like, it doesn't have. We don't have to do all that. We don't have to do that.
It don't have to go there.
Because, and this is what people do. I say that loosely, but here's what I'm saying. People don't understand who's affected by me shooting another person. Everybody in my family is going to be affected. Everybody in my family is going to be affected. Everybody in your family is going to be affected.
That's what we always hear. We always hear he's a father, he's a mother. I mean, he's a father, he's a brother, he's a son.
He was.
So, yeah he was.
Choice. The human element of choice. Decision making.
Last one.
Many as you like.
Okay. All right. You have a baby mama, right?
I definitely do.
Okay. And she has a child by another man,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So y'all both share her, right?
Okay.
And the guy gets into it with you and he says, when I see you, I'm going to fuck you up.
Please don't.
What do you do in that situation? Knowing that you have to go over there to come get your child.
Same thing I said last time. Please don't fuck me up. I don't want those hands.
But he say, nah, you going to get these hands regardless.
Please don't.
Then, wait. Then you happen to run into you and he proceeds to try to come at you with the hands.
Psalms 91, Saturday morning. What are we doing, bro?
John Wick 3:16.
He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in the shadow of the Almighty. Bro, I'm not playing. This is I've done my due diligence legally. I've verbally expressed to you I don't want those hands. So if you pursue me and I got to do what I got to do to defend myself, well,
going against a man that knows the law is like,
bro, I'm
shit.
not. And not only do I know the law,
I know how to get a free kill,
bro. Not only do I know the law, I'm telling you, please don't. I'm asking you nicely.
So I heard that you always you have to report every incident to the police.
You don't have to report anything to the police other than what obviously has to be reported. But should you keep your receipts on that type of stuff? Yeah. So situation.
I record.
I was at a gas station and individual got all crazy. And big shout out to angry white men. Guy was acting all crazy and I was coming out of the gas station. He was standing in between me and my car. And it was an older white guy, and I remember it vividly. He had the NRA sticker on the back of his truck. I was like, okay. And he pumped gas. The dude standing between me and my car, he was making a ruckus. I looked at the NRA dude, he looked at me, and I looked at the guy making the ruckus. I said, look, I am standing here in a non-violent posture. You want these hands, nigga? I do not want those hands. I am standing here in a non-violent posture. I just want to leave. And then I position myself in a non-violent posture. That old white man snatched that gas thing out of that truck and slammed it in the thing and ran over to me, put his hand where he knew my gun was and put his hand over my right hand. He said, please don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, shit.
Don't do it. Everybody let's just go home. Don't do it.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Big shout out to angry white men, NRA.
Shit.
It's the language. It's the language.
It's the language.
Yeah.
It's the language.
It's the language. So in that moment, I chose to do the same thing that police officers do when they yell, stop resisting, stop resisting, stop resisting. I purposely pulled in a witness on my side to document paperwork in the event I had to handle business. You'll catch that later. We'll follow up on next part.
I just say, if the zombie apocalypse was to happen or the purge, I'm calling you.
You are not calling me.
No, hey, shit, where you at?
You are not. I'm
gonna be in the vicinity.
You will call me and sign up for classes before the zombie apocalypse, so that you don't have to call me.
You call him, he robbed you.
You are not, because it's gonna cost it's gonna cost a whole lot of money. I promise. It's gonna cost more than what it's worth. I promise.
I'm telling you. So
It's gonna cost more than it's worth.
Let me ask you this, because this is one thing that I battle with, and I got to get your thoughts on it. And I think you might have spoken on this before, but when a police officer is set to shoot to kill, where technically, let's say if somebody has a knife and they're coming shoot to stop, let's say they have a knife, they're coming at them. I personally prefer that they don't shoot to kill, they incapacitate, but as a person still able to move, and police go to shoot to kill.
I know an individual that told me to my face because of a childhood trauma. He told me to my face, because of a childhood trauma, you have a greater chance of survival coming at me with a gun than with a knife.
Oh.
Literally, it does something to him to be cut.
I can hear that.
So when he sees a knife, he's more on alert. He has a greater adrenaline dump than somebody with a gun. Because as a child, it was a boat, and then it had water in it because it was raining. And at the bottom of the boat was broken glass, Coke bottles. And he jumped in there and cut himself.
Oh, yeah, that could do it. Damn, that could do it. So let me ask you this then. What are your thoughts when you see someone that do shoot, doesn't kill, incapacitates, they're, oh, shit, I'm down. And they still go to handcuff them behind their back. Like, nigga, I'm shot. Like,
it's protocol. Facts. It's protocol.
But
because
nigga,
just because you shot in the leg don't mean you can't kill me.
That's true.
Now, let me make this clear. If someone has a weapon that can clearly kill you, it is what it is. If I have a gun and you have a knife, I'm justified. If I have a gun and you have a machete, justified. If I have a gun and you got a sledgehammer, justified. If I have a gun and you got the small, thin hammer that your mama used, I'm justified. If it can kill me, I'm justified, bro.
So if a man comes at you with a gun, or not you. I'm sorry. I want to keep it on police. Man comes at a police officer with a gun. He gets shot. Papa, shit,
Game over. Game on.
They throw the gun to the side. Should he still be handcuffed?
Yes, it's protocol.
Like, nigga, the gun is not
law.
around no more.
It's the law. It's the protocol. You don't like the law? Revote and change it.
There you go. God damn it.
We can't complain about shit that we didn't take part and vote.
Yeah, somebody mama.
You get mad all you want. But the judge gonna say, well, according to this text right here,
he in the right. He in the right.
And that's why it is what it is. Yeah.
So let me ask you, you just mentioned earlier about Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They are about to drop the new game in about a week or so. November 10th, the new Call of Duty comes out. We do Activision. Yeah, holla at us. Again, this is on PlayStation 5. Xbox is going to be one of the most realistic killing games to date. What are your thoughts on, and there's kids that now get paid to play Call of Duty. Thousands and thousands of dollars could change their lives. What are your thoughts on young kids getting paid for simulated killing?
Enjoy that. It's the world we live in.
Dang. Okay, that means we're not going backwards. If you saying we enjoy it, that's
as a matter of fact, we're
not going backwards then.
A couple weeks ago, my brother and I, we took it upon ourselves to literally harass our parents for about 3 hours because of the things that they taught us as children that we would need as adults. Perfect example. Well, you need to learn this math and you need to learn this because you're not going to walk around with a calculator. What?
Pythagorean theorem.
You can do everything on your cell phone. We literally walk around with computers that can do better than the computers we had in the 90s in our pockets.
Yes.
So when the teachers back then and the parents told them, well, you need to show your work for this math problem. Stop it.
So I have to ask, because now they have VR, virtual reality, augmented reality, where they're going to be able to do even more realistic killings, let's say, in video game territory. Do you see a scenario in which like 5-year-olds will be able to go into like real world war scenarios to have simulated killings? Like this is a normal thing. Do you don't think that desensitizes children to
There is
killing?
a movie called, I want to think it's called Endgame. Nah, that's just, no,
not Endgame, but
it's called
Ready Player One.
No, it's not Ready Player One.
Okay.
It's the It's about they use these kids to play these video games. It was kind of like a galactic thing. Ender's Game.
Ender's Game, yes.
Ender's Game. Now, it makes sense. Well, you got to look at it for what it is. Neurologically, children are a lot more responsive than adults anyway. Don't get it twisted. You got 25, 26, 27-year-olds flying F-35s, F-22s, like they beasts. Because they've been preparing, conspiracy theory, Microsoft via the government has been preparing children with the Xbox to run these machines. I'm gonna leave it right there. That's why these kids can get in these jets, get in these helicopters and act a fool because they've been doing it their whole life. They've been training for this.
I did play Flight Simulator. That shit is very realistic.
If you think about it, where would you be now if you actually stuck to it? Yeah. What is it?
What is your thoughts on automatic weapons?
Okay.
Like the switch and people and just civilians having them.
I mean, old boy from Hamas say he finna come over here and shut it down anyway. So yeah, we need something.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I seen a video of a guy with a 100-round drum and a pistol. Let it automatic. Does that not like worry you as far as this is where we're going?
Let's be
laser guns.
The switch in the gun is illegal.
Yes, it's illegal.
Unless you have an FFL, no, you're not supposed to have an automatic weapon. Okay. Bad people do bad things. People break the law. I don't care what law you put in place. If you say whatever is illegal right now, is that going to stop people from having it?
Hey,
Damn. How many drugs are illegal and people still use them every day?
Come on now.
How many government officials, law enforcement, military use these drugs every day? Sorry, I take that back. In the United States, government officials, law enforcement officers do not use any type of illegal substances whatsoever. There's no such thing.
Cocaine in the White House.
No, that wasn't real cocaine, and that wasn't. No, that wasn't. That was a joke. The history of the United States of America, no government official has ever used an illicit illegal drug. Does not happen. Next question.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say these gun shows, men do get creative in what they're creating for these. Yeah, I got a new shotgun sawed off to a handgun that does this double barrel flip that shoots poisonous darts as well. Yeah. And they're selling it. It's like that doesn't worry you as far as people just getting creative with the. Yeah. Again, ammunition. Guns have only been around 400 years, 5.
What?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just speaking off the top of my head.
Guns have been like bro.
I said 400 years.
Guns
the musket.
Have been
I'm only going back to the musket.
You talking about the musket? The Chinese had all kind of stuff long before that.
Okay.
Like, bro, like this ain't no.
So I'm throwing it out there like, bro. I just know it's not too old.
You can
say the firearm has been in existence.
You can say, what's the difference between a gun, pow, pow, same exact theory, catapult, light the ball on fire and let it go? It's the same thing. It's a projectile.
It's a projectile, but a gun has gotten way more accurate, way more lethal.
Okay, what a bow and arrow?
At least you can see it coming.
You
can see the bow.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, unless you got 20. You don't got 20/20 vision. You might not see it.
Bro, bow and arrow, that ain't what you want.
That ain't what you want.
Bro, like that's a slow death, bro.
That's a slow death.
A bow and arrow to the face, you're not gonna die immediately like you would at 9mm. Let's be fair.
No,
but you gotta understand the concept of how that came about. The bow and arrow was invented because some dude was like, how can I stab this nigga from way over here?
He really wanted to kill an animal, though. I don't know if he wanted to.
Whatever, man.
You think it was...
Whatever, bro.
Whatever,
bro.
Man, bear.
Whatever, bro. Whatever. We've been surviving on this planet without bow and arrow for a long time.
It's funny because I want to ask you, because I be watching a lot of Twitter videos where a bear comes up on someone's cabin. Bro. I was wondering, what does Chocolate Pow Pow, BodyByO do when a bear enters his residence and he got to go toe to toe with a bear?
So let's talk about it. Again, the human element of choice. Why would I choose to live in a place where bears come to your front door?
Your lady wants to go to Alaska or the great outdoors.
Are we visiting?
We're just visiting.
We're
camping.
Just visiting.
You're just camping.
Okay, so now I love camping trips, especially in the winter when it's cold, fireplace, hot tub outside. I love it.
Boom.
Gun right here.
Just in case.
Enjoy it. Look, I will never tell anyone, don't go to the fair, don't go to the cabin, don't enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself the best that you can while being protected. It's simple.
Do you give a bear a fair choice to run away like, or you just put two through his eyes?
Bro. bro. Now, look,
for the bear.
full transparency. Unless I'm already in the hot tub, bear come up on the thing, then we got a problem. But if I'm inside and the bear knocking at the door, hey, I want some of that crawfish in there. Look here, bro. No. Please don't break my door down. Please don't breach my space. And we won't have to look, I'm going to call the police and hopefully they can get you off my property. But if the bear doesn't want to listen and he decides to bust through my door, then we're going to handle business. Just like it would if it was anybody else.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So I love to do these things to where we've had other people.
Bear gets no extra treatment. No. Bear gets no one up. He gets no extra nothing. No. You're a bear.
Bear goes he goes night-night.
And you purposely didn't learn English so we can have this conversation. So the bear had a choice. All he had to do is go to somebody else's cabin. That's all he had to do.
Conspiracy theory.
Hit me. I love them.
Why are they making all these zombie movies and zombie shows?
Bro, they're making all these movies to prepare you for all the stuff that could possibly happen, bro. Listen, do I think the zombie itself is going to be a thing? No. However, I think the zombie apocalypse concept is going to be a thing. Pause. What is the difference between the Walking Dead scenario and the old school Mad Max scenario?
No.
The only difference is the people that's gonna kill you moving real slow. But Mad Max, this is regular people that's hungry, need resources.
So watch your gas.
And know you got resources, and they come to get it.
Yeah. They move much quicker. Yeah, no.
Mad Max, bro. I think that'll happen, yeah.
When the bath salts were a thing and people were eating people in Florida, I'm like, okay, here we go. We got to get ready we got to get ready. Shit.
The Walking Dead, what is that? World War Z?
Yes.
They taught us how to stop the zombies.
They did.
There's something that happens when you shut down the nervous system.
There you go.
Zombie or not.
There you go. Now, I love to have these conversations in which you respond to what someone else on the couch said. We brought up a OG named LT.
Yeah.
In which he said if somebody breaks into his house, that's his final resting place. No matter the concept.
I have no argument with that.
So I asked him, I said, because even the baby had this happen to where someone broke into his property. He shot him. The man was down, called the police. So I asked him the same question. I said, if a man, like the movie South Central, a kid jumps over your fence, feels like he's done wrong, is trying to escape and get off your property. Let's say you put one in him, just to, hey, bah. He said, he personally said, because he chose to come over that fence, no. Once he falls back on the side of the fence, I'm ending his story right then and there because he made a choice before he came in that this was going to be his final resting place. Do you prescribe to the same thing as far as a man trying to leave in good, like, fuck, I fucked up. Shoot him in the leg. And he's trying to hop away. And he's like, no, you will not get away from this scenario.
No, I can't agree with that. Simply because, like I said, I don't take my training for granted, right? In those moments, well, let's be clear. I don't want to shoot anyone, ever, okay? And I stand on that. I don't train my guys to be out here on no foolishness. Hey, we here to bust heads. No. We're here to de-escalate, keep everything safe, everybody go home, okay? If I see something and it's to a point where, okay, you climbing over the fence to get out, okay, whatever. Come on, man.
The fear was he may come back.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop all that. You don't want to take a human life unless you have to. Okay? Again, you said kid.
Yeah.
You said child.
I start off with a kid, yes.
Come on, man. It's a child. There is a chance that we can fix this situation. The reason I'm careful with that, because if I sit here and I say a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old child that jumped over my fence onto my property to do something bad, realize he did something bad and wants to jump back over the fence, and I shoot him, I agree with the politician that called all of you super predators and deplorables, don't I? Does that young, you said child, so I'm assuming young black child, does that young black child deserve a chance to get it together?
Oh, yeah.
See what I'm saying? So there again, the human element of choice. And why are you carrying, what is your purpose in carrying a gun? Is your purpose in carrying a gun to kill anyone that tries you or to keep your family safe? From the moment, again, this takes training. This is just because you got a gun does not mean you know what the hell you doing full compass, okay? Yeah. You have a gun, it's your job to protect your family. From the moment there is no longer a threat, what is the problem? Anybody could come back. What are you talking about? That's like you being beefed out with your baby mama boyfriend and you think the next time he come to drop the baby off, he gonna do something to you so you shoot him? Come on, bro. Like, again, we can't exacerbate the idea and the excitement of having a gun to, oh yeah, I got a gun. Anybody try me, I'm a this and I'm a that. No. The laws are set up that you have more responsibility as a firearms owner than not. Yeah. The moment you put on a gun, you increase the reasons for them to throw your ass in jail.
Facts. Let me ask you, what are your thoughts on surveillance in regards to, we have Ring cameras.
Facts.
There's surveillance on stoplights where
Big Brother's always watching. Big Brother's always watching, bro.
Yeah. So let me ask you: do you feel like everything needs to be surveillance? There should be a front, side, rear camera in every car, on every door, apartment. It should be automatically a Ring camera installed for someone's protection. Should this be something that society has a norm where if something happens, we could see like a lead up to where someone went, someone fled, what happened? We should be able to see in real time what happened.
I think we should, because there have been too many people, because the technology wasn't available, that got away with murder. It is unfortunate that a lot of our privacy and stuff is kind of at bay right now. But I tell people all the time, teach people all the time, when you get into a gunfight, you have to do it right. Because the ATM machine across the street, that video footage can and will be subpoenaed in court. They may not have audio, but we're gonna see what happened. And if the visual without the audio paints a derogatory narrative, it's extremely difficult to fight because there is no visual.
I do feel a more level of safety if I know any technical area.
It's hard for you to lie your way out of it.
Yeah, yes. It's like I could.
Yeah,
shit.
It's hard, and again, I'm trying to answer that properly and articulate the answer properly because we still got to be careful because now we talk about rights and privacy. Yeah. Because let's be fair. What's the boy name? What is the boy name from Meat's son?
Meat Mills?
No, not Meat Mills. Meats. Lil Meats.
BMF.
Lil Meats. So wait a minute now. The Ring camera of the groceries. I don't care about the groceries. I don't care about the person supposed to be his cousin. Watch this. Watch what I do with this. Did he consent to being recorded by that young lady's Ring camera to be posted all over the internet?
No.
No consent. What is there? He has a case. He has a case.
No, he doesn't. Because something went on with Ring camera to where I forgot the actual law. But if you have a Ring camera and it catches everything, like the Ring camera at my house, it catches like 3 houses. I got it set. I see like literally out my front door, Ring camera. I see the front of these 3 houses and everything that comes up and down the street. So if 2 people are walking up and down the street and dude decides to beat his wife in front of my driveway or in front of my house, it's on camera, bro. And if the cops ask me, hey, had an incident earlier today, can we get that Ring camera footage? I can say no. I can say no. No problem, sir. The judge can subpoena Ring. I'm saying not for. I don't think that we're going to.
No, but the Ring Corporation.
But think about it. When you put Ring and you read the fine print and you click the little check box and you pay your money, yeah, and they ain't got to come get it. Go ahead and download that. He tried to delete it. He tried to delete it. Go ahead and download that. It's like 6 months ago, but like, go ahead. Go through all this shit. Go through all this shit.
So you get your license to carry. You go through your course, right? And the people walk in and they're telling you, oh, you're finished, you did your little test, and then some people walk in there. I don't know who these people are, but then they tell you, hey, for only $10 a month, we'll pull up on you and make sure if you ever get in a shootout that will represent you. Do I pay that $10?
Let me say this. I'm going to be clear. I am an instructor and training counselor for USCCA, United States Concealed Carry Association. The biggest issue we have in our community is the fact that we don't have insurance. Come on, man. Bro, you got car insurance because you don't expect to get into a wreck. You got a firearm on your hip and you don't expect to do damage when you pull it out. Fuck. Why wouldn't you have insurance? Okay, let's talk about it. You don't have legal insurance to carry this firearm. Insurance is an option, just like car insurance and everything else, right? So you get into a gunfight, justifiably you're in the right. But your job says, oh no, we're not friendly with the gun thing. We're not gonna fire you, but we're gonna put you on unpaid leave until you work that out. And it takes 2 years. Who gonna pay your bills? But you worried about $50 a month for what, 2.5 million, don't quote me, $2.5 million of coverage for anything you need. And do you know how hard it is to find an attorney after you've been in a gunfight? We live in a liberal world that's anti-gun. And you walk around here without firearm insurance? Just put on a cap that says stupid.
Well, I didn't know about firearm insurance before you just said that.
United States Concealed Carry Association. As a matter of fact, reach out to me. I put my information on there. So here's what I like to do.
Yeah.
Quick caveat. As a USCCA instructor, everybody that signs up for USCCA under me, I am their designated instructor, especially if I did their license to carry, right? And I do that because now you're my responsibility to teach you these protocols. You see how that works? Yeah. So going back to your question, that license to carry course did one thing. It exposed you to the gun laws and showed you how garbage you were with a gun. You are not trained. You took one class. You are not trained. You took Algebra 1 in the 9th grade. You are not a mathematician, sir, ma'am.
Hey.
Right?
Facts.
We joke. What is Pythagorean theorem? A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Hey. But you don't even know how to apply it to a right triangle.
Oh, it's triangles?
But I thought you said algebra. That's geometry. That's where you're stupid.
Goddamn.
Because it's both. You see what I'm saying? So just because you take a class, I got a video on that too. Just because you take a license to carry class does not mean you know what the hell you're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in this room, excluding myself, passed about 200 people on the way here that got driver's license and don't know what the hell they doing.
Yeah.
So what makes you think you know what you're doing just so you got a license to carry? Oh, I already took a class, I'm good. No, you're not. You're an idiot.
No, for real. I seen somebody sympathetically pass a license like, here, I'm gonna give you a gun license just because you've been up here 3 times. Fuck it. Let me just give it. I seen that. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a problem.
Because, well, that's a whole nother. Do that later.
All right. So right now, you look around the room and you feel there's a threat. Who are you taking out first?
The threat?
So, no, I'm saying, well, that's good.
He's asking you to judge us.
Yeah, we try. So
who do I think the most violent person in the room is?
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
I didn't say nothing. See them?
She might twist tonight.
Yeah. See, he let us know. Because when she be gone, he be talking. But when she here, she don't say nothing. But when she gone, he be talking again. Yeah.
So I have to ask you, I don't think we talked about this last time, but Ethan Rodriguez is a young man who was in Dallas who looked at his Ring camera. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was Bink. I don't know, whatever program he used. Some guys started kicking on his door and he chose to let all 13 shots go off. When you saw that, what would you have done in that same scenario in which you're sitting down playing Madden or whatever else you're playing, Call of Duty. Someone knocks. You go on the ring camera. Hey, there ain't nobody home. Like, we ain't here.
Right.
He's like, I'm just checking to something. Then, of course, he goes to the next door, act like he's knocking on the next door. Of course, you don't see that, but, whatever. You're still on the game. You come back here, you start hearing bangs. Now, mind you, no longer looking at the ring camera.
Right. Look at that door.
Yeah, you're hearing bangs. That sounds like someone trying to kick your door in. Your firearm is near you, as his was. It was under the seat. His brother was in the bathroom. What does BodyByO do in that situation?
And I stated this on a video as well. That individual is friends. Well, is a family member of somebody I know, a friend of mine.
Oh wow, 6 degrees of separation.
So I got the phone call like right after it happened, and they asked my opinion. I said I haven't seen the video at the time. Now that I've seen the video, like I said in the video that I did, hindsight 2020. Monday morning quarterbacking, right? The only thing that I would have done differently in his case was allow them or wait for them to breach the door. He did good by not shooting into the other person's apartment, because he could have shoot straight through a door. It could easily go. Gratefully, and I don't know the ins and outs of the proceedings, but hopefully, they didn't press charges across the hallway because they could have and all that kind of stuff. Me personally, had he waited, had he positioned himself to where the moment they breached that door, good night, church. I think that's the only.
So you not knowing, again, you're just here playing the game. You don't know you don't know nothing.
But if I look on the ring camera and I see him kicking my door, all right.
Well, no, mind you, you don't see that. You saw on the ring camera that he was asking if you were home, and you're like, I'm not home.
Right.
Therefore, you put your phone down.
All right.
You're back on the game. 20 seconds later, you hear boom, boom. Mm-hmm. Again, you're not a violent guy. You're a regular Joe.
Trained or not.
You're trained. This is you. This is you.
It's me.
You're trained.
Me.
But you have no expectation of nothing to be. You're at your cousin's house. You're just visiting. They said, let me go to the car real quick. Okay, bet I'm gonna be in the house just watching Cowboys win, hopefully. Shit. Shit.
This is a bad scenario.
Okay.
It's going bad.
So you're sitting down, and then as your cousin's gone outside for, let's say 5 minutes, kind of gone, you're hearing kicks. Now you have your gun near you.
Right.
You don't know what the threat is. Yeah. But mind you, someone did just say, hey, I'm looking for maintenance, and okay, bet, we're leaving. Do you allow whatever banging you hear to come through that door before you see what happens next? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
You almost have to. And I don't know what happened after the fact. Hopefully he is okay legally. Hopefully no one pressed charges. He is lucky enough to be in a state, Texas, to where they're not going to be as anal retentive about, well, I know you was defending yourself, but you still shot the building over here. The apartment complex could have done it, could have sued, they could have acted a fool, and hopefully they haven't. If they haven't, grateful for that, because he was a victim of that particular circumstance, right?
Right.
Me personally, I would have waited. But again, if you ain't trained to do that, I think he did good for his level of training. I will say that. I do say, however, that, again, Monday morning quarterbacking, I would have positioned myself in the apartment to where that I would have had the advantage when they got through the door.
So let me ask you.
Fatal funnel, yeah.
As far as him having 13 shots being let off, would you have let off all 13 without seeing the assailant? Would you have maybe did 6 and waited?
I personally wouldn't have shot without seeing the assailant. Me personally.
Okay. Would you empty the clip is my question.
Empty the magazine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you owe me like 50 push-ups, bro.
I do. Shit. BodyByO tactical.
Bro, that's like the third time I've been on it. He said clip.
Yeah,
bro.
Bro. I watch a lot of movies.
Realize Street Stars needs to be in class immediately.
So you would have emptied the magazine. Let's say if there were 16 shots, you would have said, I'm going to let all go without seeing what I'm hitting. Me
personally, no, I would have. However, I understand the circumstance, because don't forget, we have an element that has not been trained for. That's called the adrenaline dump. Let's just say Rodriguez actually went to the gun range on occasion like he was supposed to. But if he's not in a training environment where we can simulate the adrenaline dump, he's not going to have it for that moment. I'll say this again. I say this all the time. You will not rise to your level of expectation. You will fall to your level of training every single time. He did great pending the circumstances. I'm saying the only correction that I would have had it been me and what I got going on, what I would have waited for that individual to come through the door. That way there would be nothing for us to argue about.
Do you, with a trained person, do you feel like they would have just let off a warning shot?
No, that's all the way illegal.
Okay.
You discharging a firearm, city ordinance, it's endangerment. That's like 3 or 4 laws you break. Just by yeah.
I'm gonna go back to another scenario.
Yeah.
You're at the gym. You got your gym bag. You got your pistol in your gym bag, right? Mm-hmm. And right next to you is a guy on steroids, and he's just working out.
So how do we know he's on steroids? Do we see needles? Do we see testosterone?
We just know he's on steroids by the way he looks.
We see pills. We see syringes, vials. What do we see? He just swollen than me. Yeah. He's swollen than me, and I'm hating. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he looks. This is why we know he's on steroids.
Okay.
He looks at you. He's like, "You looking at me?" You're like, "No." Then he comes over to you.
That's a steroid question, ladies and gentlemen.
Then he comes over to you and he pushes you and he says, "Hey man, get out my way," right?
All right, bro.
And then you fall back and then he say, "Man, I'm telling you, you better back up," but you have your pistol on you.
Wow.
What do?
Do I feel like my life is in danger?
Well, he's on steroids.
Him being on steroids does not mean my life is in danger. Here we go again. So now, and I appreciate these questions because the untrained individual will think on that level. Exactly. Because if you don't know the why behind the what and what you can and cannot do legally and what the attorney, the prosecuting attorney gonna say and the jury gonna say, bro, like you setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm asking these throw scenarios.
Because the primary thing is, okay, guy with a bad day in the gym, and I look his direct, you looking at me? Oh, absolutely not, man. No, it's all good. No, I tell you what, enjoy your workout, man. I'll go over here. But the problem is we don't want to de-escalate because we feel like we're less of a man for de-escalating. Why would I put my family through the trauma of splatting this dude's shit all over the gym? Because now the gym, regardless of me being able to carry a firearm, me having a gun in the gym owner is going to lose a lot of money because you got brain fragments all over your equipment because I didn't act a fool in the gym. So now he got to shut down the gym until this process is finished. Come on, man.
So there was a scenario in the gym in which a guy was jumped. They beat him up, boom, 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 kind of walked him out the gym. And then, of course, he got beat to death. He got beat to death. They stomped on him, stomped on his head. Done. He had the ability right then as far as getting jumped. I mean, his physical altercation already started there in the gym. If he had it on him in his bag, he could carry it out.
Air it out. Yep.
What is it with the man? I don't know if it's a black thing, but we just can't let it go and just take that L in those situations.
Ego. Again, pride and ego. Bruised pride, bruised ego is an extremely dangerous combination. There are a few elements in there. I always say pride, ego, alcohol, women in the same vicinity is a recipe for disaster. Yeah. But
what do we need to do to
we need to make it cool to de-escalate.
How do we go about doing that? How do we make that cool?
Making it bad just to retaliate just on the whim of your emotions. Okay? You don't want to be seen as emotionally soft. However, emotionally soft means you respond to everything.
Exactly.
Shame. So I have to ask you, from your expertise and your personal opinion, did Megan Thee Stallion get shot in her foot?
Megan Thee Stallion, according to the doctor's report, had bullet fragments in her foot.
How, Sway?
Let's explain how. that bullet had to hit something hard enough to make it fragment between her foot and whatever the bullet hit. Bullet hit what it hit, it fragmented, went into her foot. In theory, technically, we can say she was shot. Okay? Because a lot of people think the bullet stops when it hits something. If it hits something hard enough, it will fragment like any other hard material and it would spread, spray, all that good stuff. Yeah. So was she shot technically, theory, in the foot? Yes. Did the bullet actually go through her foot before it fragmented, broke into pieces? No. However, the way the laws are set up, if I shoot a gun in this direction and it hits something and it ricochets, fragments, and hits someone else, I am responsible for that.
Yeah. So if someone goes blind from a fragment,
I am responsible.
That is you shooting someone.
Here's the catalyst. Here's what we need to talk about. I don't know what the relationship between Meg and Tory actually was. Is this a situation where the gun went off and he wasn't actually trying to shoot you, but you was beefed out and mad at him for what he did outside of that?
We don't know.
And we pressed the issue? Interesting. Because at the end of the day, she could have said, if this were true, I have no idea what's true. It could have been said, yo, the gun went off. It was a situation. Everybody good. Don't worry about it. It could have been a situation where, hey, the gun went off. Everybody shut up. Take me to the hospital. Me and you gonna talk when we get to the house. It could have gone either way, but it didn't go that way. So now we have to look at what was the intent of the individual that pulled the trigger, because we still don't know. What was the intent of the idea of being a victim by the victim? Because at the end of the day, if you was actually shooting at me, trying to kill me, and you can't shoot, and you shot something else and the fragments got in my foot, yeah, we got a problem. Yeah, I want you prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. We don't know the why behind the what. We know that a gun went off. We don't know exactly who shot it, and we don't know the why. We don't know the why behind the what yet, and we probably never will.
You don't believe it's like a dance and shoot at the ground, Harlem Night style situation?
It very well could have been. It very well could have been. We don't know that.
We don't know.
That's not what was said. Now, had Megan said, yeah, he was shooting at the ground and I was dancing, all we got was I was shot in the foot.
There you go. Let me ask you, Keefe D's in jail. He just got arraigned. They just pulled it. What are your thoughts when you see Keefe D getting arrested for a murder that happened 30 years ago with Tupac Shakur after, he's
statute of limitation of murder? There is none, I don't think.
No, at all.
That's what it is.
It was
if he did it,
Yeah, it was a federal situation that he thought he had immunity for. But the state of Nevada picked this up. Like, hey, you didn't say too much.
Man, let me tell you something. There is no such thing as immunity. Bro,
we're going to say what you believe.
if the United States government tell you something, bro, we're going
to make a law to take it back.
Bro, I need you to understand. Like, you read the fine print, bro. Just read the fine print. That's a horrible situation. I think, this is me talking, right?
Yeah.
I think we should give an opportunity to sit down for him to answer all of our questions first. I think we need to answer. I think it's so much conspiracy behind that situation. I think we need to get somebody in front of this dude and be like, look, you finna talk.
We need to try.
You finna talk. No. You finna talk. You finna talk because it's not gonna bring Tupac back. It's not going to change anything. Yes, his mom is going to feel a lot better knowing that there's justice served to the individual that done it. Yes. However, what do we need to learn from this situation? What information is credible to help us that we need to learn that's going to die with this individual and it's already gone with Tupac? Because now we got questions about Biggie now, don't we? Because I'm sure old boy knows some information about the Biggie situation. I'm sure. So the question is, What's the why behind the what?
In war, if a man in a gunfight shits himself, is he considered scared?
That's a natural human response to the fight or flight, bro. Like, if you get shot, there's a great chance you're gonna shoot yourself.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I wanted to ask you that question because I've heard if someone shits himself because he's scared, it's not because he's scared, it's because of his the body's trying to get rid of anything that'll slow him down.
No, it's a nervous reaction. Like I said, that's a traumatic moment. That is jarring, bro. That is. I've seen men piss and shit themselves often. War is fucked up, bro. Like, I'm not finna sit here and make it okay to, oh, he shit himself, he was in a gunfight. When's the last time you looked death in the face?
Yeah.
Huh? You get nervous when your baby mama call you, nigga. Stop playing. So we can't. I'm real. I mean, I play fair in that area because we don't know the a lot of people. I was not me, but a lot of people who like to speak on stuff like that don't know the physiology behind it. Mm-hmm. You don't know what your body gonna do when death is looking you in the face, licking his lips. So no, it's that is a natural physiological reaction to trauma.
Does the soldier respect the gangster?
In some levels.
What levels?
When it comes down to territory, protecting what you believe in, right? Uh-huh. However, the soldier has little respect for the gangster stepping outside of a paradigm. Okay? When the gangster steps into the soldier's realm, for example, if you got a soldier that's living in the hood, mm-hmm. and this soldier's been through some things, like actually trained to do a thing, right? And then the gangsters come up, the playing field isn't leveled. It's not leveled at all. Okay, yeah, everybody got guns, but what are you doing with that gun? Do you know what you're doing with that gun? So you kind of got to be careful with that. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, I respect ideals and causes, you know, but the issue comes in when you become a threat for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, great movie to watch for the young kids out there. Go watch Dead Presidents, Hughes Brothers.
Facts.
Great movie.
Old school, Lorenz Tate.
You know, one of I forget his name, Chris Tucker's.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah. I don't know if we asked you this last time. I think I did, but I'm gonna ask you again, just because people are dealing with it all the time. Being that you went to war and all that stuff, do you deal with any psychotic behaviors or anything like that?
Of course, I'm always going to be, you know, vigilant, you know, pay attention to things, right? You want to make sure. This is where my heart goes out to veterans. And I find it interesting. This person has been to war. You look at them like they're crazy, like something's wrong with them. But they're responding to traumas just like you are. A trauma response from a man who's been to war, and that was his first trauma, is equivalent to a woman who was sexually assaulted as a child. She's gonna have issues in life. So why are we separating the traumas based on the level of trauma or the category of trauma? These are my own thoughts, right? So I have a respect for everybody who's been to war. I have a respect for everybody who's been through a trauma that they could not control. I don't. So when somebody says, oh, mental health, this, that, respect. But we have to learn to understand that when you say mental health, we got to throw everybody in that category. A lot of times we like to categorize mental health as, well, mine's not as bad as yours, or I'm better than you because you went through this and then I went through that. We got to chill on that. Because what about the young boy who was brutally beaten by his stepdaddy? What's the difference?
When you came home from war, like dealing with civilians, how was that? Like,
it's not about being at war, dealing with civilians. It's about being in the military, dealing with civilians.
Okay, can you explain that?
Yes. In the military, it's a rigid structure. Okay? By the numbers. That's actually a term. We do stuff by the numbers. So when you get in the civilian world and there's so much less discipline in the civilian world, it's difficult for veterans to come back. It takes us a while to get back acclimated to civilian life because in the military, we know for a fact, if you do something stupid, you're going to win a stupid prize. Out here, civilians move around like there are no consequences to anything. I can do what I want. I can do what I want. In the military, it's a whole different concept.
Okay, well, like, you know, and I've never been to war, so I watch TV or whatever, and then they always go to war, and then they get out there and they start doing whatever they want. Like, they start, I don't know, raping women, doing all types of crazy shit because, like you said, we're at war, we're looking at death in the face. What do you say to that? Like,
same thing that we've been saying since the beginning of time when it comes down to man and war. Almost every war, there is foolishness attached to it. I'm saying that loosely. I like to say there's an evil spirit that flourishes in war.
Yeah.
On both sides. Because both parties are stressed out. Mm-hmm. We like to say what we can and will not do, but when your mind and your emotions are at the brink of breaking down, it ain't no telling what you'll do.
So, like, did you ever know anybody that would play into that evil realm?
I don't personally know anybody. I do know at a certain point what happens is soldiers get desensitized to the job.
Yeah.
Okay. It's no different that this conversation is no different from the PTSD of a 27-year-old RN working in the ER.
Makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
What's the difference?
Because
there's absolutely no difference.
You might come in there.
It's still trauma.
Not even, well, is there anything that you did in the military that you were worried about, but then you got in there and it's like you got desensitized to it, like the sight of blood or something like that?
I did a lot of things before the military that the blood never was an issue, right? Okay, I was a lifeguard. I saw all the bloody things at the pool, right? And just regular stuff, just being a kid, the blood never was a thing for me. And of course, dad was a cop, mom, was a nurse. So we it wasn't. And again, I don't want to. War is not what it used to be. Let's start there.
All right, yeah. Please break that down.
So there's a difference between the combat troop in the goddamn medieval times, right? You got the guy on the horse, you got the shield, you got the gavel, or trauma, right? It's not like I'm running down the field with an axe to chop somebody in the fucking face, right? Yeah. That's not what war is now. Vietnam got brutal.
Yeah.
Vietnam sucked. World War I, World War II, the French and Indian War, goddamn Civil War. It was different back then. Now it's not as much as face to face anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. It's I'm looking down a scope or I'm looking through a camera on a missile or something like that. It's not as brutal as it used to be. Still gets brutal. There are still ground troops who go door to door. However, and yes, there's still trauma associated with that, but it's trauma associated to a pilot that's flying at 700 miles an hour at 30,000 feet, and he drops a missile on or whatever building, and he's watching the missile all the way to the building.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see your head.
I mean, when you scan through the night vision goggles and the UV and all the phosphorus stuff that they got looking through, and they see body parts all over the place where they shot a missile, it does something to you.
For sure. Pressing the button does something to you.
Pressing the button. Now, there's a movie out with your boy. He played, what's the boy that played the Falcon?
Oh yeah.
Anthony Mackie.
There's a movie out with him, and he's in there with another guy who's actually a drone pilot. PTSD, drone pilots get PTSD too. You see what I'm saying? So again, I do not like to separate military trauma from everyday trauma. Because guess what? What about that 17-year-old in the hood who saw his homeboy get his head blown off in a drive-by? What's the difference, bro?
True.
What's the difference from the 15-year-old girl watching bullshit in South Oak Cliff?
Well, when you say you see an infrared body and you press a button and all of a sudden you see parts, all you saw was an infrared structure. You didn't see the actual person.
But you know there were humans there.
If they tell you, they can tell you that, hey, you were playing Call of Duty.
It's interesting you say that. But if you're a pilot and you're on a mission and you hear your ground troops yelling and screaming and hollering at you over radio because they're getting their ass knocked off and they need you to drop a bomb, what are you talking about now?
Those pilots are normally they're drone pilots now. They're not even in the.
No, they're not.
Well, no, I'm saying they do have drone pilots now.
There are drone pilots, but those F-35s, those F-22s,
those guys are real. Those guys are real.
Yeah, but
I've seen drone.
Even still,
advanced warfare.
You still hear the troops on the ground yelling and screaming.
That's true.
Now, which trauma is worse? Me blowing this building up with people in it, or the guys yelling and screaming over my radio, dying because I'm not doing my job?
Very true.
So now their parents got to get a flag. I got to go and debrief and talk about Sergeant insert name here who was yelling and screaming at me. He's dead now. So what do you think I'm going to hear in my dreams every night?
Same voices.
So now I'm going to have what you call survival's guilt.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What about the kid in whatever area of town who was in a gunfight with his homeboy because people were just rolling up on him and his homeboy got killed while he was trying to shoot back? Survivor's guilt, bro.
That's real.
Like we can't separate the veteran's mental illness from anybody else's on the planet. Because let's be fair, it's a lot of veterans that's messed up right now in the head and saw less than what we see in the hood.
Hey. No. Talk about it.
What about the trauma of, perfect example, Kevin Gates. Big shout out to Kevin Gates for being transparent. I don't know if it's true or not, but the stuff that he say in his, he said, I watched my mama selling pussy. That's why I'm in love with hookers.
Yeah, he said that.
Nigga, that's a trauma.
That is a trauma.
But we looking at Kevin Gates because we don't know no better. We laughing, kiki, ha, ha, ha. No, he's being transparent. Have you ever listened to Young Blue?
Yeah.
Nigga, that's trauma. They're just speaking about it now. Mo 3 was talking about trauma right here. So we like to over sensationalize, oh, the military, he came from military, he crazy. No, check these zip codes. Check these area codes. Come on, man. Like, now I'm not finna let people sit up and paint a light on veterans like they bad people, they messed up in the head when they've gone through far less than most people actually want to talk about. Yeah. You know how many traumas in the black community, but under the guise of what goes on in his house stays in his house?
Oh, man.
How many black women in our community are messed up right now, can't maintain a healthy relationship because they fucking stepdaddy touched them?
Yeah.
Miss me with that shit.
Can't talk about it.
Come on, man.
They can't talk about it.
She can't even make love to her motherfucking husband because...
Can't tell him about it. Can't even talk
It ain't even about...
Yeah, can't tell him.
Watch this. Her husband has to be careful how to approach her because certain positions remind her of being raped by her stepdaddy.
And he don't know that. Trauma.
Come on, man. Let's stop. But see, it's good, it's fun, it's cool, it's a good headline to say, ooh, veteran, PTSD. No. Let's talk about little black woman, PTSD, molested by a fucking cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, little girl, PTSD, in foster care, molested, raped by her foster brother. What the fuck are we doing? That's PTSD.
That is facts.
Yeah.
So I got to get this from the chocolate pawpaw real quick because I got to get your thoughts because you mentioned this earlier. And before I talk about that part, I want you to address the two guys that went on the 50-50 versus 100 rule, which is one guy who said, man, I believe in the 50-50 rule. Me and you are sharing a home. We should both be 50-50, split these bills. Mind you, he said, I get paid $14 an hour. I need, her, she's going to pick up her weight. I'm going to take care of my side and go from there. Right. While the other man said, no, I'm on the 100% rule. I take care of 100% of everything. My woman, my wife, my girl is to want for nothing. I am the king of my castle and I do, and I will take care of everything. You need to get on point. What are your thoughts on the 50-50 versus 100% rule between relationships?
What happened in that video, I thought, we are continuing to fuel the narrative that men are nothing more than provision. We got to be careful. we got to be extremely careful because we're looking at lists. We're looking at who should pay what, who should do this, who should fulfill that role. We stop talking about love.
Stop talking about love.
Because let me tell you why. Love don't pay bills. Love don't.
Love does not pay bills.
It's a sad situation. Do I agree? I have disagreements with both parties. Yes, it's easy for someone with resources to sell someone without resources a thing. Yes, it's easy for someone without resources to complain to someone with resources about them not having resources. The one thing that discouraged me about that interview was understanding both sides in there. If the rich man was saying, hey, listen to me, I'm gonna put you in a position. I'm gonna put you on. But we have a problem with down talking. I said this last time, but in a different context. We have a problem with down talking each other instead of elevating each other. In this moment, what I saw two black men, one who could have empowered and elevated the other one, sit there, judge, cast judgment, and talk down to the other man. The other one got offended and didn't hear the information that he actually needed from the black man. The problem is and I even commented on it, we as black men have a hard time humbling down and listening to men who are where we want to be. So much that had the man who was making $14 an hour.
Yeah, $14 an hour.
Saying 50-50. When the rich man said, oh, you need to be doing this, and I believe this, and I believe that, blue, 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 blue.
Now you asked him, why are you settling for $14 an hour?
Had the gentleman with $14 an hour said, you know what? You're right, help me get there.
Right.
That would have
the conversation right there.
That would have changed that would have been a paradigm shift in the conversation because now the rich man would have been called to the table.
There you go.
Are you here to help the community or are you here to flex?
There you go.
Because here we go again, black male ego. Yeah, you coming in here on this podcast bragging to me openly, but covertly bragging to my wife.
Covertly telling her I'm that nigga.
You see what I'm saying? So you're encouraging my significant other to disrespect me because I'm not on your level.
Planting the seeds.
We got to be careful, man.
We got to be careful.
True enough, not everybody's going to be rich. Not everybody's going to be in a place where they can afford to pay for 100% of everything. But let's be fair. Let's be all the way fair. There's a small sector of society that can say, my daddy paid for everything in the house and my mama ain't have to pay for nothing.
Yeah. No, I come from a household where my daddy paid for everything. My mama paid for nothing. I actually seen that. She didn't work. And that was not, none of my friends, nobody, they mama at work.
Facts.
Like this is what it was. So I'm like, okay,
Facts.
I'm the outlier.
Now, and here's the funny part. When we talking about 100% versus 50-50, I say this. What you do in your relationship is your business. Yeah. How you define your relationship, your engagement, your marriage, whatever it is, that is your business. Nobody else on this planet has anything to say or do, should have anything to say or do about your business, how you run your relationship. If both of you are actually happy, cool. Now, I do disagree. Can't nobody tell you who happy not. True, for him to say, oh, your wife ain't happy, she don't respect you, now we got to call her to the table to ask her questions. When you say stuff like that, when we say stuff like that to our brothers, it causes division amongst us. Because at the end of the day, the rich brother was supposed to be telling dude 50-50. Today's the last day you do this 50-50 shit.
There you go.
I got you.
I got it.
Now, big shout out, 1906. You ain't heavy, you my brother. However, if I'm using this to say I pay all the bills and blah, 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 to flex, I become that what I hate most. And that's the enemy. Because you're not helping our society. You're not helping our community. You just on your bullshit.
So lastly, I have to ask, what do you say to the woman that comes into a relationship saying what she deserves?
I'm going to say the same thing I said today on a video. You are not the grader of your report card because you have a bias. The universe will not give you what you feel you deserve. The universe will give you what you actually deserve. And the definition of that is what you've actually earned. Sir, ma'am, you don't have the partner you feel you deserve because you have yet to qualify. And why? Why would God, the universe, whoever you pray to, why would the creator send you his perfect child for you to mess him up or her up? So stop it. Everybody wants to say they deserve a thing without having to earn it. Because we in society has done all this foolishness to make people feel like they deserve whatever fantasy that they feel that they can dream up. No, there is no free lunch on this planet. You will have to earn every single thing. You want the delights and the elegant stuff, you can put in the work, put in the time, you get it.
Man, there you go.
Period. You don't deserve any more than what you've actually earned. And the universe will not grant you any more than what you've actually earned based on your merit, your drive, your performance as a person.
What do you say to the person that just gets blessed by the universe and he didn't deserve it? Yeah. Or he didn't earn it. He didn't do anything. It just happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. You got to ask the universe that. However, I will say this. They have sayings, a rising tide raises all ships. God's blessings fall on the just and the unjust. It happens. That should not be the catalyst for your excuses to not be who you're supposed to be. Period, point blank. Now, if I adhere to concepts and precepts that tell me, hey, do these things, lives like this, and your descendants will have a good life. That is what they deserve. If mommy, I don't give a damn what y'all say about Donald Trump. His daddy did what he had to do to make sure his son and his bloodlines had money, whether they act a fool or not.
Yeah.
My grandbaby is going to be okay whether she act a fool or not. So somebody gonna be sitting on the podcast with, do you really deserve all the wonderful stuff and resources you got? It don't matter.
Hey.
Her granddaddy did what he was supposed to do, because if my wish, my dream, or if I put in the work to deserve the resources to where my children's children are blessed, getting what I deserve. Man. If my deserving is my babies and grandbabies being blessed, I earn my shit. Fuck y'all.
There you go. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Now, I have to ask because, as we have the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve. Yeah. Can you take us out as far as giving us some wisdom as far as how people should maybe proceed, during these holiday seasons, as far as just, whether they're trained or untrained, and more so for New Year's, because that's when guns get to come out.
Yeah. How should two sides of that. First things first, holiday season coming up. Stop harboring hatred, enmity in your heart. You got people around you. Love on them. When they're gone, they're gone. They're not coming back. I say that for the holiday season. I'm not asking you to believe in a thing. I'm not asking you to participate in a thing that you don't believe in. I am asking you, during this season, a lot of people are going to be going through depressions. Holiday seasons are the highest for suicides. Okay? People are hurting. And people, the economy is bad right now. People are in positions they're not going to be able to do as many things as they were in the past, so on and so forth. And things are getting bad right now. With that being said, that makes people desperate as well. So now you have to make sure that you're paying attention when you move around the general populace. Okay? Stay safe, stay vigilant, stay away from the mobs and the crowds and the angry stuff going on. Because, come on, it's going to be hot in the grocery store come Tuesday, Wednesday night, bro. You already know what time it is. It's going to be
Cranberry
hot.
sauce going to be gone. You're going to be battling over the turkey.
Stop playing. Like, look, listen, it's November 5th. Start everything that's non-perishable for Thanksgiving. Stock up now. Okay? So the last thing you need to buy is buy your turkey now. Throw it in the freezer. Bro, buy all your stuff now. I get it. You just got paid. I hope you ain't tricked it off. November, look, hey, take care of business so you're not out in general properties dealing with the crazies. Understand why things happen. People get desperate in these times. Times are hard. Make sure you are safe and you are making safe decisions. Stop operating on impulse. And stop being naive to why would they do that? They're not going to do that to me.
There you go. Man, it's been a blessing once again. Man, it's always knowledge.
Was I yelling this time?
No. There's no yelling. You weren't as stern on us. You know,
when it's hard.
They're like, yo, you put us on our place last few times. Right. You know, but I think we're growing a rapport now.
Let's spill the core. Yeah.
But it's definitely a wealth of knowledge to have you here. Again, the outlook on life is, I think, for young men in this generation. I'm glad they look towards your past interviews to say, hey, I might have had a father figure. I look at Unc over here as a father figure because he's giving me game that my mother couldn't give me. Right. So again, thank you for doing that.
Man, real quick, thank you for that. It's something I wanted to put out there. There was an individual, he commented on a post. And he said, hearing bro talk always brought out an insecurity that I've in myself. Not sure why, though. Literally avoid his videos. Shaking my head.
Literally avoid his videos.
I came on and said, I hate that, bro. My words are meant to empower all my brothers and sisters. He said, oh, definitely, bro. You are above empowering. It's a man thing. Maybe you exude an example that I want to see in myself from what I've seen of you. I screenshot it, but I hadn't addressed it. For him to come on a platform and explain that the way he did is huge. These are the steps that we as Black men need to start taking with each other so that now I create a safe space for my brothers. You know what I mean? And I said on the video, the very video that he was talking about, I was literally saying, they just created safe spaces for your Black ass. The world ain't ready for the Black man to be mentally and emotionally intelligent. I'm sorry, emotionally intelligent. Mentally stable and emotionally intelligent. Because the reality of it is, what I've learned on my journey, the more emotionally intelligent I become, the more I'm a demand.
Yep.
Oh, you thought emotionally intelligent was, oh, I'm gonna cry now? No. Now I know my worth. Now I know verbatim what I bring to the table and its worth. You're not just finna treat me like I'm just somebody to pay your goddamn bills, like I'm your sponsor. No, I'm a man. I have feelings and emotions just like everybody else on this goddamn planet. And it needs to be respected, just like you want me to respect yours. Oh, there's a narrative of a man, Black man especially, being emotionally aware. Oh, now he feminine? No, I'm aware. And I'm aware of your bullshit. And it's gonna stop. Period. You telling me I don't deserve to have feelings? All I gotta do is pay your bills for mistakes that I didn't make because you made bad decisions? No. Now it's a problem because Black men are starting to come into the know and people can't handle that. Now I'm calling you to the table. Now you got to be held, cuss word, accountable. And we know people don't like to be held accountable.
I was just going to comment and say, I love the way you handled that too.
Yeah.
That's really good.
He ain't heavy, my brother, man. For real. Real shit. Real shit.
We need more conversation like that. But I'm glad that's we're here. For those that do, again, you have your training course. That's even the reason we first got you. I want you to, of course, tell them where to how to get on top of that. But you also have your online persona now that's amplified.
Yes.
I want them to be able to go follow you on all platforms. Tell them how to get to see you in person, but also online as well.
Right. So The classes are at BodyByO.tactical.com. Those are the classes. Now, for those of you who can't make the classes, our YouTube page, BodyByO Tactical, is the YouTube page. We do have membership tiers to where you can actually sign up as a member. Well, subscribe, sign up as a member, and actually get the course information in those slots. You get behind the scenes. You get me running through lectures. As a matter of fact, we just posted a big one a couple days ago. I'm posting another one tonight when we're talking about, long range rifle shooting, sighting in the rifles and all that kind of stuff, getting the basics of that and then getting to some more advanced stuff. So we got your classes right there on YouTube. Instagram, BodyByO318, BodyByO318, not zero, BodyByO318 on Instagram. And of course, TikTok, chocolate_official. Yeah.
There you go, man. Normally
Twitter, X, BodyByO318.
X BodyByO318. Again, that's for his Louisiana roots. Go watch the other interviews if y'all need to learn those roots.
Yeah.
We normally do shout outs, man. I'm curious. Is there still anybody you would like to still shout out that, got you to this point?
Man, I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. Big shout out to Bebe, man. Like for real.
To Bebe, man.
Shout out to Bebe.
I would never ran into you without Bebe putting you in my vicinity.
A lot of things. It's my bro. Like I said, we've been through a lot, and you got to pay attention. He drops a lot of gems.
Too many gems.
And I think what happens is when people drop gems, we'll pick them up, put them in our pocket, and never cash in on them.
Yeah. I'll use that later.
Yeah. Send me my check. Thank you. And that's the thing, man. Seriously, use it because that's the truth. We hear a lot of credible information that we just don't use. Why? And to quantify it, man, I've learned so much from just being in the arena, dealing with people, learning stuff from y'all, like being in the network, just, around people. Like I said, I'll do a shout out to Bebe for that. Big shout out to Hollywood Bebe, man. He is underrated, undervalued.
Underrated, undervalued.
Yeah.
Outworking a lot of these guys. And again, like you said, dropping gems that people just probably aren't picking up.
Insane, bro. Insane. It's a lot of stuff he's told me over the years. It's on the money. But because it's Bebe and the way he says things, he's always the high energy. And when he says things, a lot of people don't take it seriously. And he be like, let's just go bouillon. Wow, right in the middle of the table. People just sit there and look at it.
Right. If only he would.
Y'all didn't hear what he said.
If only he'll slow down and look sad face and then say it.
Yeah.
I may pick it up.
Yeah. And that's again, big shout out. That's my bro, man. Big shout. He was there for me. He gave me chances when other people refused to.
Well, there you go, man. Again, double down on that, man. Shout out to Bebe, man. Hollywood, the ambassador.
Yes, sir.
One of the plateaus of this city in Shreveport, and of course, Louisiana. With that being said, man, BodyByO, man, for you to come through again and give us this blessing, we can't thank you enough because again, we learn something every time you sit here, man. You are a blessing.
Likewise,
I'm glad we found you. I'm glad we uncovered this jewel. And hopefully we could do a lot more. And
it's crazy because it's like 2 years too late.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but it's crazy. Things in society keep calling you back.
Right.
So we may again. This is only chapter 4 in a whole nother situation.
Man. Let's do it.
We got him here, man. BodyByO, man. What they used to call him the Black John Wick, only because he does that John Wick type shit
every day.
You are a real life street star. Let's go.
Shout out Reallyfe Street Stars, nigga. Move it. Hey.